Hello, you're welcome again. It's another episode of Life and Relationship Realities. And I'm so glad today. I want to say to you first, Happy New Month, the month of August. For us as a ministry, this is our month of greater things, new levels of greater things. This is the month that God is going to be doing amazing things. God has always been doing amazing things, but we're moving into another level of greater things that God will begin to do in this month for us, for me, for you, for our families, for all of the people that we're connecting to this month is going to be amazing for us in the name of Jesus. Remember, expectation is very important, that your heart is expectant, that you have joy, because joy attracts great things into our life, and that you experience the peace of God and the joy of the Lord. Those are my prayers for you, for myself this month, by the grace of God in the name of Jesus. So we're starting our series today. And our series that we're starting today is Stop. Like when somebody you're going, recently I'm trying to teach my last son driving because he has just gotten his driver's permit. And we started, I said, okay, get into the driving seat. He was so excited. Like, I said, yeah, get into, of course, in a very safe area, get into the driving seat. And I stayed out. I said, no, not going to close the door. I just want you to be able to move the car a little bit. And I told him, of course, he wrote exam. So he knows a lot about, he wrote the state exam about car driving, traffic signs, and all of those things. And then I said, okay, this is the practical side of it. So you sit down, the first thing, you sit down, put on your seat belt, adjust your seat so that your seat is comfortable, because if the person that drove before is taller than you, the seat is not adjusted well. You have to adjust your seat to the place where you are comfortable, and then check your mirror. Somebody's there, like it's Pastor Tolu teaching lessons. Yeah. So anyway, we got into it, check your mirrors to be everything, and then start the car yourself and put your leg on the brake. I was very sure about that. Like this is the accelerator. You don't slap on the accelerator, you just touch a little bit. And it started, and then it was moving the car, at a point, and I was like, stop, you know, and he tried to stop the car, but this time, oh my goodness, he pressed on the brake in a way the car was like jack. I said, no, I taught you next time, put it, gradually. But the truth about life is there are times when we have to put that stop to stop, sometimes to slam that brake, because the moment he put his leg on it, it wasn't in a situation where there will be major now, and I realized it's a very free place, and I held the car, I held the door, all through while he was moving the car. But the way he pressed the brake make the car jack forward. Sometimes that's what we need in our life. We need that a little bit of jacking forward for the brain to reset, for us to come to understanding of what is happening, for us to be able to take the next level into our great destiny. Sometimes we need that stop. And throughout this month, we're going to be talking about different areas of our life where we need to stop. Sometimes we need to stop to just think. So this stop that we're talking about, this stop, it means to take a pause, to take a pause. Maybe you're running and then you want to take a pause. So you're walking, you want to take a pause. You can, so when I get on the treadmill and then I want to do 30 minutes, the time, if I press stop, it's taking a pause first. It's giving me opportunity to say, do you want to end it completely or do you want to pause it? So sometimes you pause for a minute, maybe to catch your breath. Sometimes some people are going through a lot in your life and you just need that break a little. Like when it's really sunny and you're walking in a place and you're walking in under the sun and you're sweating and everything, and somebody bring cold water for you. When you drink that cold water, you are first like, that doesn't stop your journey, but you needed that break to regain your energy. Some people have been going through a lot in your life. Sometimes you need that stop, that pause, but sometimes you need complete a complete stop. That is when something comes to an end. This stop helps you to reset you. It helps to reset our mind. It helps to get us asking questions. I always say, like, it's good when somebody is celebrating anniversary of relationship, anniversary of marriage. It's good to sometimes take a time out. Let's go out. Let's go to an hotel. Let's go to some place quiet where it's just both of us. Let's sit down and look back at this relationship. How has it been? Am I happy in the relationship? Are you happy in the relationship? What is it that we have done that has helped the relationship to work? What is it that we have done that has created problems for this relationship? It's always good to be able to reset. Somebody said, oh, we have not in 10 years, in 15 years, we've not had time together and so on like that. How do you get the best of the relationship? Most of the time, what is happening is that somebody is enduring something. But if you want to have good joy in that relationship, sometimes it's not even because you planned a break. Maybe you've gone out, maybe somebody's wedding, you travel out. It can be an opportunity for both of you to reset, to come to a stop. But today, I want to quickly talk about taking a stop of guilt and shame. I want to talk to some people, maybe in your relationship, maybe in your life. You have done something that feels shameful. You have done something, maybe not even relationship in your life. You have done something that keep bothering you all the time. And it feels like you're feeling guilty. You carry the weight of guilt in your life. Let me say something. When you carry such weight, whatever weight you're carrying, guess where the weight comes into? Into your relationship. Into your relationship. That's why if you've ever dated somebody that was not truthful, that was not sincere, and you put everything in that relationship, the next relationship is going to suffer because you are careful, you are watching, and somebody is telling you, no, this is not that person that hurt you. You say, oh, no, I don't have a problem. I'm just being careful. I'm just watching. And in the place where you ought to trust your partner, you're not trusting your partner because that is already in your mind to say, oh, every man, oh, all men are liars. Says who? That's the conclusion that is not right because all men are not liars. All men are deceitful. That is not true. All men are not deceitful. You have had encounter with the men that are deceitful, but that does not say that to all men. Oh, all women just want your money. That is not true. Some women want true love and relationship, and it's not about money. Oh, all women are very stubborn. That is not true. We begin to put stereotypes to people, to things. It's not like that. Maybe you grow up and your father was a terrible husband to your mother. Some fathers are good fathers to their children, but they are bad husbands to their wives. Things like that can happen. Maybe you have looked and you said, oh, I'm not even going to marry any man. Oh, all men, I'm not going to marry any man. That's a wrong assumption. That's an isolated situation. You may have a lot of men around you that are like that. That does not speak for all men. Maybe you've seen a man, a woman, your mother was really, really nasty to your father, and you are like, ah, this. But even in the other one, that the man, you feel that your father was bad. Some women are waiting to get married. I'm not going to allow a man treat me like this. So you harmed yourself with tools of weapon. What marriage for you feels like you are going into warfare because you want to harm yourself, and then the man is a gentleman and the man is trying to say something. You're already, oh, I know your type. I know your type. It is wrong. Those things destroy relationship. Maybe your mother wasn't a good husband, wife. Maybe your mother cheated on your father and that broke your father's heart and broke that relationship. And then as a man, you're saying, oh, all women cannot be trusted. That is wrong. That is a wrong thing, because those are the things that bring eventually make shame and guilt to become so strong in life. Whatever it is that you have done and you bring it to your relationship, guilt of your life. Oh, I did this wrong. Oh, I cheated on my wife. Oh, I cheated on my husband. Oh, I cheated on my boyfriend. And that guilt still coming into your life. Some people carry guilt that is not even their own. Somebody raped you. How does that become your own guilt? The guilt should be on the person that did that evil act. It shouldn't be on you. But some people are still carrying that guilt. I've talked about it before, how I was sexually assaulted when I was in primary school. It is not on me, it is on that person. So I don't carry guilt. Some people carry guilt and shame for their family. Oh, your dad did something nasty and destroyed the name of the family. Your mother did something nasty and destroyed the name of the family. And every time you're going, every time you want to say your last name, you're feeling uncomfortable because it feels like that name is associated. That is not your guilt. You have to stop it. That is not your shame. You have to stop it. The shame of your father. I was reading this last weekend. I had a prayer. I just had a personal prayer retreat. And on the second day, I started reading the book of Ezekiel. I was able to even read the whole book of Ezekiel. And then you see the places where the Bible was saying that all the things that the father did, God was not going to ask the children, because every man will carry their own guilt. Every man will carry their own shame. So the first thing I want to talk about is stop carrying somebody else's shame and guilt. You say, it's my wife, because it's my wife that did that thing. It's the family that I have done. Oh, no, it's not the family that have done it. The person that have done it has a name. There is a point where you identify with your family, you stand by one another, you did one another, but everybody that's seen have their singular name, and you can't carry that shame for them. Because the guilt and shame that a lot of people are carrying is not their own guilt and shame. I remember, I'm going to tell this story very, very shortly. I remember when I was my first child, I was in Nigeria, and my first child started eating solid food like amala and so on. That's cassava flour and all of those things, or yam flour, and my son started eating that. And I remember I went to a place, I think my son was about 5 months or 6 months, because I start my own children very early. At 4 months, I start to give cereal and so on. So and I went to, it was a naming ceremony, and my baby was with me. And they gave us this yam powder, this amala with soup, and that is made. And they made the wrap small, so it wasn't like big wrap. And then I said for my son, I think they brought a very small wrap. And then, but it was eating. So I was putting it, I was giving, and the boy, I didn't know whether it was the party stew or the party soup that made it really good, the ewedu that I was eating, but it was just taking it. It was just taking it. And then I started looking around, I started feeling embarrassed. I mean, like, I wasn't the one eating the food, it was my son eating the food. Why was I feeling guilty that he was taking so much food? And then he finished the food, and the boy still felt like he needed more food. And somebody noticed and brought another wrap. He said, oh, maybe just give him little. And then I didn't want to give him. The boy was still doing his mouth like he wanted more. And I was There was an elderly woman there, and the woman just snapped at me. He said, give the child food. What is wrong with you young women of these days? This child wants to eat food. Later now, you'll be taking a child to hospital everywhere. My child is not eating food. You have seen a child that wants to eat food, and you don't want, give my son food. Give my son food. And I started giving the food, and the woman told me, said, thank you, my daughter. Thank you. And she started smiling and everything. But why was I carrying that guilt? Because it's in my head that I'm the mother and I'm responsible for the child. So, what guilt are you carrying that is not yours? Can we start from there? What guilt are you carrying that is not yours? What shame are you carrying that is not yours? Today, you can stop it. You can surrender that guilt to God and receive peace. The second shame